Greg, welcome to London Real in Dubai.
And Brian, thank you so much for having me. So grateful to be here and been looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I want to start by saying that Sphinx is one of our portfolio companies here at London Real Ventures, the world's first media-powered investment firm, where our mission is to transform the world by investing in cutting-edge Web3 and AI companies while giving our partners marketing exposure across the London Real media platforms and academies. We heighten awareness, create customers, and build communities by leveraging our global audience and extensive network. Greg, super excited to be part of this journey with you. So let's jump in. What is Sphinx?
So Sphinx is an effort to democratize access to the commodities trading world and the derivatives that power it. You know, commodities in particular are an asset class that are produced and consumed 24/7, right? These markets do not stop, they do not stutter, all the way from the production at the oil pump to the consumption at the gas pump. These assets, they never stop moving, and they deserve a market that also never stops moving. At the end of the day, the traditional exchanges that have ultimately led us to this point in history are built on traditional banking rails. And the reality is those banking rails are evolving with the evolution and technology that blockchain is kind of bringing to the forefront now. So, we're witnessing such a shift in the way that banking is done. And blockchain has been such a, it's provided so many opportunities to so many people across the world, right? It's really banking the unbanked. It's providing, lending opportunities and opportunities for entrepreneurs across the world, right? And, we in the Western world, especially as an American, right? Like we take that for granted. We really do. And, the ability for folks across the not only the geographical spectrum, but the geopolitical spectrum to be able to access those kinds of banking rails has ultimately created a paradigm shift. And markets are now attaching to that shift, right? Securities, treasuries, bonds, even traditional crypto assets, meme coins, and commodities are simply another asset class that we believe is poised to be revolutionized and disrupted by these new banking rails. The reality is so many markets across the world are monopolized. Commodities are one of those markets, and to be quite frank, the consumer is paying the price for that.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside I view is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.
It's interesting you say monopolized, because people would say, well, no, these are on exchanges and they're publicly traded, whatever that means. And we can see the price every day on Bloomberg, or we can, read it in the paper, old school way. But you're saying there's a lot of control in this centralized power.
Yes, and a lot of that control is paid for, right? It's lobbied for, and as markets evolve and mature, some of that control is warranted. But we have gotten to the point in the evolution of these markets in particular where that is now harming the consumer, and the powers that be, the powers that control these assets and control the exchanges that trade them, have no they have no incentive to effectively evolve, right? So the time for disruption is now, and we're really excited to be at the forefront of that.
Nice. So it's interesting. If we look at crypto markets, it's something that I would argue maybe pretty much everyone in the world has access to all sorts of different exchanges and ways to trade their crypto, whether on a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. If I look at stocks, Whereas 20 years ago, this might not have been the same, but now we see things like Robinhood, we see these low-cost brokerage houses, and okay, you might not get the high-frequency trading access, but you also, I think, have some access. But when it comes to commodities futures, we are talking even further down that spectrum of the public or individuals getting access to true liquid markets. Is that a rough idea?
Yes, and you absolutely hit the nail on the head. And when you actually step back and view the forest above the trees, it's insane. It's insanity because energy, agriculture, like these are the most traded markets in the world. They power your everyday life, whether you realize it or not. And they're so critically important to, I guess, the world evolution of health and happiness, and ultimately bringing, life and prosperity to the globe, which, I view as holistically important, and I hope everybody who's watching does. But at the end of the day, we need to ensure that these assets can be accessed in a democratic way and in a way that is free and doesn't impede on progress, right? And so much of the current system does impede on progress, right? There isn't as much of a free flow from an economics perspective as there should be. And that's a real problem, right? Especially for such critical things like energy, right? It's crazy when you really step back and think about the fact that there is a noose around, the control and the flow and the trade of these assets.
Right, because it's the big institutions that get access to these liquid markets and the individuals and the smaller players that don't, and it's not traded 24/7.
Yeah, exactly, right? This idea of, being able to speculate, being able to hedge, simply being able to trade across borders and boundaries, it's become more and more important in physical markets, right? Cargo markets, trade markets, like anything that kind of transcends that import-export barrier. Why are we so far behind on the basics? It's actually, it's disturbing, and it's really, the mission and the reason of why Sphinx exists.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.